My name is Cate Schnell. I play volleyball at Tennessee, and this is No Playbook Podcast.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the show. It's the podcast featuring the outstanding athletes, coaches, and experts, all from East Tennessee. Today, Cate Schnell on the show. She is a fantastic volleyball player, Lady Vol, and she comes on to talk about her recruiting experience, what brought her to Knoxville, all the way from Southern California. Really cool story. And she talks about her training, just everything she puts into the season, and she kind of explains why, if you are an East Tennessee resident and you've kind of considered going to see a Lady Vols volleyball match, she tells why you should do it this season. It's the year to do it. This episode is sponsored by Stinnett Collision. Check them out if you're in need of automotive repair. Again, that is Stinnett Collision with locations in Maryville and Sevier County. Cate Schnell coming up right after this. Sit tight.
Hi, I'm Zach Stinnett, third-generation owner of Stinnett Collision. As a proud supporter of Tennessee athletics, we know that every game counts. When a collision puts you out of play, we're here to get you back in the game. Family owned since 1965, Stinnett Collision now has locations in Maryville and Sevierville. With double the space and a team of certified technicians, we'll tackle your repairs and get you back on the road in no time. Don't let a collision sideline you. Visit Stinnett Collision today.
Do you have class this morning?
Just a little tutoring sesh for finance.
Are you the tutor or 2D?
2D. Yeah. I'm trying to stay up to date. We're going to be traveling a lot, so I want to make sure I'm ahead of things.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess when you're in season, you got to really put some thought into that.
Yeah, I have one class on Fridays, and I won't be able to go for like the first 5 weeks. So definitely got to plan ahead for a couple of those things. But yeah.
How are your professors with that? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're pretty nice. I'm taking mostly asynchronous classes, so I have the flexibility of when I'm on the road, I can still be a participant in my class. Um, but I'm a student that prefers in class, so definitely like learning to adjust. But obviously, since COVID, we've had the opportunity to practice all of that all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember that when I was a student many years ago. I remember being up at the professor's desk when Casey Clausen, he's a past quarterback for Tennessee, and I
Mhm.
remember being there when he went up to be like, "Hey, so I play football, and I'm not going to be able to make it to the lab for this class for like
Yeah.
months." He was a Californian,
Yeah.
as are you. I
Yes.
uh, I like hearing those stories. Like what motivated you to make that leap and travel so far for college?
For sure. I genuinely had no idea where I wanted to go to college. I just knew I wanted to play volleyball. And when the recruiting process started, I kind of was just like, we'll just see who reaches out. I sent a couple emails, but I wasn't really a kid that went to camp a lot or anything like that. So kind of just really seeing like who had seen me at all the tournaments. My club team traveled to like a lot of travel tournaments. So um seeing that exposure, and I have two older sisters also, and they like had some schools reach out to them, but they never really like went through the recruiting process all the way, and they never ended up playing in college. And so it was kind of a first time for my family to like learn the process of the recruiting. And yeah, Tennessee ended up reaching out. And growing up, my aunt played basketball at Stanford, grandpa played basketball at Cal, like sister went to USC, like all Southern California schools and California schools. And so hearing from a school from like kind of south. I didn't really know much about Tennessee, and I also heard from a couple of East Coast schools, and it was just luck of the draw that it ended up going like this way. But when I ended up taking my visits, I visited most of the East Coast schools first, and you're seeing a lot of smaller gyms. They don't have the SEC football money, you know what I'm talking about, and didn't have really as many resources as Tennessee did. And then Tennessee was my last visit. I came to a camp, and then I got to see the campus and the facilities, and that kind of blew my mind after seeing all the East Coast schools. Obviously, amazing education opportunities over there. But when I saw Tennessee, I was like, oh my gosh, like as an athlete, I want to be here. And so after getting to visit, see the coaches, getting to talk to the coaches, even meeting one of my teammates that I have now, we met at camp. We were the first campers there, and we kind of just found each other and ended up like playing together, and we both committed. And she's one of my best friends here now. So just like funny how it all worked out. But definitely, as soon as I got here, met people I wanted to be around, met people I liked playing volleyball with. And the campus is just stunning. So it wasn't a very hard transition for me. The hardest part is being away from the ocean. Just growing up as a Cali girl, it's hard to be away from it, but we're right on the river and it's just as beautiful in its own way. So,
So I talk a lot about recruiting on this show, and I'm very interested in like how did the coach at Tennessee find you? Do you through club ball put your stuff out there? Is there an app or how do they discover you?
so I never really asked them personally because they just kind of texted me randomly, but I'm like 95% sure it's because I'm was on a pretty competitive club team and they just ended up stopping at our court at one of the away tournaments. I also did a event with Under Armour where a couple college coaches come and the Tennessee coaches were there as well. So I think we kind of just ended up crossing paths a couple times. And that's when they kind of started to notice me a little bit. But yeah, definitely just because I was on a pretty competitive club team, and a lot of coaches kind of went by to look at my teammates, and then there I was.
Yeah. So now
Yeah,
how's this year's team gonna do at Tennessee?
we're really excited about this year. Something that we've been saying a lot is that our team has so much depth, which is something we might have lacked in previous years. Even like the year where we went to the Sweet 16, definitely gaps between the top of the team and the bottom of the team. I was a redshirt freshman then. Like I wasn't as good as the fifth year seniors for sure. But this year we're really excited because the freshmen are competing in the same level as the juniors and seniors, and um, we're really excited in the sense that we don't need to worry about depending on one person, whereas previous years maybe we had to depend on one arm on one side of the court. We can really use our depth, spread the net, and yeah, use everyone, which is super exciting. It's also like great for opportunities, know mentally to be ready all the time. Um, but yeah, we're really excited about the depth of the team this year, which is something that we have new.
What is the like attendance like for fans?
Yeah. Um, I couldn't really give you an average number. Like I don't have the exact statistics. I know that last year we set a record at our Penn State game. I think around 15,000 people. Which was like a PR for sure for volleyball. Usually a couple thousand people per match, but that was like a massive game. The entire like inner ring of Food City Center was full, which like never really happens for our games. Um, so yeah, I might have the wrong number there, but um
Yeah.
usually just like half of the bottom ring is full for the volleyball games, and then sometimes the student sections are full on both sides and sometimes it's one side, but we always love it when they come out. So
Yeah. So I worked for a long time with the company that does the training for K2 here
mhm,
locally.
yeah.
What about, because I've spoken to parents that have said before, like, we've talked about going to a UT volleyball match, but we've never actually done it. Like,
Mhm.
what would your pitch be? Why should this be the year that do it?
Well, I have kind of multiple pitches when it comes to that. I mean, you get to see us competing at a level that's higher than you'll see a club in high school. You, as a young volleyball player, whoever is listening, as a parent, you learn by watching people who are doing it at a higher level than you are. You're learning different shots, different mindsets, um, different pregame routines, all of it. And so I think by coming, if you're trying to teach your younger athlete or yourself how to get to a higher level, you can come in, you can watch the pregame warmups, you can watch us get our reps in and focus on these specific items and be like, oh, maybe I haven't focused on serve receive as much as I should have, or I should do band warmups on my shoulder because some people don't even know about taking care of their own bodies as a young athlete. I definitely didn't until I had to do a bunch of PT. So definitely being able to come and like learn by watching people who are doing it at a higher level. And also the environment's unreal. Tennessee has the best fans in the nation. So if you want to have a good time also, that's a great reason to come.
Well, talking about picking up new things, what's something in particular since you've been a college athlete that you've kind of learned that has helped you take your game to the next level?
For sure. For me personally, I feel like I've had the biggest growth in my defense and just understanding defense. I'm not even the best defender on the team, but just being able to learn different ways to move to the ball, and just the mindset. I feel like a lot of it that we're working on currently is the mindset of being urgent on every single play. And as a young player, I'm like, oh, I'm urgent all the time. I want to win all the time. Yeah. But there's plays that you like are like, oh, I took that play off mentally and I didn't know that until the coach pointed it out. And so you're like learning different things about your effort levels. Um, Obviously, you commit D1, you're like, I'm a hustler, I'm an athlete, I'm gonna go hard every time. But that's not always the case. And being able to be reminded of that and then learn from that and just realize that it's hard to be locked in every single play. And if you can learn to do it consistently, that'll really help you reach the next level. But I feel like so much of it is mental, and that's just something you have to learn by playing it all the time, you know?
It's so interesting. And I hear that from a lot of folks on the show that talk about the mental aspect. And it's just something that it's not really coached as you're coming up, but it's something that's got to be figured out.
Yeah. I mean, I've even had like coaches from club teach us mindsets like they'll tell stories about Kobe Bryant or Tom Brady and whatnot. And you're like, okay, Mamba mentality. I'm gonna go hard every single time. Tom Brady, you only get 3 reps, make the best of your 3 reps and make them never want to take you off, you know? And you're like, okay, like that motivates me. I want to be that person. But it's so hard to keep that mentality every single play, every single day, every single week, every single year, you know what I mean? And so just always keeping that at the front of your mind and realizing there's always somewhere to grow as well, in every aspect, every skill. You can think this is my best skill and then always have more things to learn from it.
Hmm. Now, how about you? I was saying you've got a website.
Mhm.
You're out there. What are your career aspirations?
Yeah, for me personally, I don't know exactly what I want to do by any means. But I had an opportunity to do an internship this summer and learn more about the business world. I'm a finance major, and so I think I'm really interested in getting more involved in real estate finance. But I'm not exactly sure where or when or how quickly I'll get into that because I have 3 years of eligibility left, so still lots of time to think about it. But yeah, that's kind of my mind's wandering that direction.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good you're getting that 2D experience, getting that
Hmm.
extra finance help.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, you mentioned missing the beach, but what about just like culturally? What is something that's a real big change here in Tennessee?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just like the people are very different. Like Southern hospitality, you know what I mean? You don't get it in California. There's nice people for sure, but it's just a different environment. It's also the fans here, unreal. Like USD went to the Final Four and they didn't have that many fans at their games. Like they just didn't. And here it's like we had a home opener last year and all these students came out. It's just unreal. And so getting to see all of that, it's just the people, the vibe is different. Obviously, missing people from home as well, but Southern hospitality is just different.
Well, going to a volleyball match is fun anyway. Like it's a fun sport to watch, even if you don't know what's happening.
For sure. And I feel like so many people don't really realize it until they go and then they're like, wait, that was like actually fun to watch. It's pretty quick pace and yeah, there's always stuff to watch and see. So,
I always say that every time the Olympics come around for swimming.
mhm.
Like I feel like it's so like riveting when you're watching an Olympic swimming match, but there's no kinds of like professional swimmers where I can go watch. Um,
Yeah, it's really cool.
so how about you personally? Is there anything that very few people know about you?
Oh, I don't really know. I don't know. When I was little, my grandfather had a cattle ranch, so we were grew up herding cattle and like on the ranch in the summers and stuff. I played of just about every sport you could think of. Um, this is a funny kind of short story, but I was on a t-ball team when I was whatever, 5 or something. And I was the only girl on my team. And I don't know what it was, but every time they'd hit a ball, the little boys weren't really going. And so I just run and I'd grab the ball every time. And I ended up grabbing balls out of boys' gloves at some point. I'd run in front of them, steal the ball from them. And there was this one day where the coaches were like, okay, these other parents are getting a little upset. This little girl's kind of running around with her pigtails, taking the ball from all the boys. And they're like, okay, we're gonna give everyone a cone. And you just stand by your cone. So I had a place and I couldn't run wherever, you know, that was the point of that cone. They hit the first ball. I pick up my cone and I ran and I took the ball from another kid. And safe to say, I wasn't allowed back at T-ball practice, but my mom learned that day that I always wanted the ball. So it's kind of a fun little story from my
Hmm.
childhood that I think is a funny one.
I don't think you broke any rules. You stayed by the cone.
Right? I took it with me. It didn't
Yeah.
leave my side.
Um, okay, so one question everybody gets on the show. I'd love for you to share an unforgettable sports memory. Something that when you are 80 years old, you can close your eyes and you think you'll still picture perfectly.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main one that I think of like right away was going to the Sweet 16 with my team my freshman year. I was redshirting, so I like wasn't playing or anything, but I got to be in California. We played at Stanford, and my aunt and uncle live right next to Stanford, and my whole family was there, and we got to play against Texas, and it was an insane match. Like left, right, the points were just insane everywhere, and I feel like I learned so much just by watching that match, and it's like a core memory for me. And it's also the Sweet 16, my first Sweet 16 experience, my first tournament, my freshman year of college. I got to be home. And so that was just a really special time for me. I remember we went out to the bus to go to the first match, and all of the parents and the band and Smokey, everyone surprised us as we were walking out of the hotel. Um, and it was so funny. My parents had like this sign that said "Go Tennessee," and my dad had this pom pom. It was just like an unreal image, and I'll like never forget it for the rest of my life. But yeah, that's my core memory for sure.
That's a great one. And one thing I love, so many Tennessee athletes that come on the show just rave so much about the fan uh, support. So
Mhm.
as a fan myself, I love to hear that.
Oh yeah, it's unreal. We love it. And also like the fans that come to every game, we get to know them and we love to see them every time. It means the world to us when people come out to see us. And we're doing it for you guys. At the end of the day, it's how can we represent Tennessee at the highest level possible? So we love it when you guys come out and support us.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, do you ever get involved with community stuff, like even coaching young
Uh,
players?
um, I mean, this one's kind of a go-to, but Tennessee does their camps every summer, so we get to get more involved with girls one-on-one when it comes to those camps. Um, I've done the reading with like younger elementary school kids, um, at the like smaller schools around Tennessee with a couple of my teammates as well. And then yeah, we'll do smaller team events as well where we get involved in the community, but it's always a goal for me to try to get more involved. So always trying to find new ways to do that. But yeah, every time I can
That's
give
great.
anyone a tour around campus or anything, I try to do it. So I love to show people around and teach them about Knoxville and yeah.
Excellent. What do your folks think? Do they're fully supportive of you being halfway across the country?
Oh yeah, no doubt. My parents are big travelers. They're fine with me being anywhere. And at the end of the day, they like saw me when I was on my visit and when I saw Tennessee and they're like, she wants to be here. We're gonna make sure she can be here. Um, and they support anything that makes me happy. So yeah, no problems there.
That's very good. I really appreciate it, and I'll actually have this out Monday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
See ya.